This is Tiggy Maximus with Tiggy Maximus Talks, episode 141 on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening to all these episodes. Liking, following, subscribing, even donating towards the podcast. Anything's appreciated, guys. If you haven't already, there is a link on my Spotify episode, Tiggy Maximus Talks, where you can make a small donation towards the podcast. And if anything else, just keep listening to the episodes. It will just keep tabulating towards my podcast. So let Spotify know that I'm kind of a big deal. Anywho, I just want to get on here, talk about some comedy, a little bit of sports, and some food. I had the pleasure of going to a Don't Tell comedy show here in San Diego. It was last Thursday, and it was at Candy Pushers in Hillcrest. And Don't Tell San Diego is a big deal out here, and they usually run great shows. And I had the pleasure of going to one of these shows, and I had a good time. The host was Aaron Monte, cool comic, really funny guy, super hilarious. He talked about a lot of subjects in his set while doing his hosting, and honestly, the crowd loved him a lot. He's part of this group called Run the Fools, and I did see him perform live at the Hollywood Improv. So both great experiences. There's a lot of work into his craft, and he can do it by himself or he can do it with his buddy. So guy's pretty multi-talented. So the comedy that he did at the Don't Tell comedy show at the Hillcrest location inside Candy Pushers, I would say he was a 8.8 out of 10. Let's see. There was another comic there. I believe her name is Macy Isaacs. First time seeing her. She did somehow incorporate a little trivia. She did Kardashian baby name or WNBA team. And she did that, and I answered a lot of those questions if they were a WNBA team for my side of the room. I sat to like the right of the stage, far right, and of course you see a lot of candy all through the store. But she got some good laughs from at most half the room. She did a little bit of crowd work too. But that show was alright. I would say she was about an 8.2 out of 10 for her comedy. And then we also have Ellen Sugarman. Great seeing her. She's always funny about her selfie stick, her slang for, a vibrator. But she had a lot of good funny jokes. Crowd liked her a lot. She even talked about when she was driving and this car pulled up next to her, and the guy was basically jerking off next to her in the car, and she usually has that bit where she talks about that's how she met her husband or boyfriend and something. So yeah, I could tell that people came up to her, they liked her a lot. You hear a lot of great feedback from the crowd, and honestly, I think she talked about I want to say it was something from Amazon, and then yeah, a lot of funny stuff. So she was a 8.8 out of 10. And then we got Josh Waldron. Always great seeing that guy around through San Diego. He talked about ordering stuff on Amazon as well. Um, Talked about um, well, it was part joke, part crowd work because there was this couple with a charcuterie board. Um, Brought it to the show, didn't finish it at the place they bought it from, brought it to the front row, and well, Josh Waldron kind of want to point out the elephant in the room by saying that the the woman with the charcuterie board and her, I guess it was her boyfriend or her first date, said that she had a really big rack and it was very distracting, and he was going to look at the other side of the stage so he wouldn't see her. That was funny, and um, I mean, I can almost almost kind of vouch that she might have been a little distracted. So, um, Josh, pretty funny guy. Got great laughs. I would say um, he was probably an 8.75 out of 10 for his comedy. Then we got our headliner. Our headliner was Justin Clark. I'm trying to remember where I met him from, but I think I met him at the PB Backyard Kitchen show run by Josh Nelson. So it was pretty awesome. I got to not only see him, but got to talk to him again. He actually remembered me too. So that's pretty awesome. And guy was pretty funny. He talked about the guy in the front row. He talked about the couple that was in the front row with the charcuterie board. Talked about Amazon a little bit. Talked about the candy store. Like, do kids actually come in here, or what are they trying to target? Because to have kids come out to a candy store in Hillcrest, and you've seen Hillcrest, I mean, your target audience are not really kids, but the owner of the store says 5% are actually kids, and the other 95% adults. So, everybody pretty much laughed a lot throughout the set, and Justin Clark was pretty awesome. Hope to see him more at more Don't Tell Comedy shows and more shows out in San Diego or maybe up in LA. So it's always a pleasure to kind of catch these good comics all through SoCal. So, and you ever just kind of go out and see them for yourself, I mean, you're gonna have a good time. They don't ever bomb, some of these great comics. So I would say Justin Clark was a 9 out of 10. Great comedy. Afterwards, I ran into Aaron Monte and hung out at the Uptown Tavern. Apparently their kitchen closes at 10 o'clock. But I did get to hang out with his buddies from school, high school or elementary or something. So they have a history. They're really fun guys, pretty funny guys. And then afterwards, I actually ended up going to this place called Ta Caliente, Mexican food. It's right close to the Candy Pushers in Hillcrest, across the street from Uptown Tavern. Got myself a mixed burrito I think they call it a champe chichango, champachanga. So I got carne asada and pollo asado inside the burrito. Um, Pretty good stuff. I would say that burrito was a 8.6 out of 10. So I enjoyed it a lot. Um, Great meats, great texture and taste to it. So I would probably go back there again. The staff is pretty nice too. So um, what else? I did go to another comedy show. It was at the San Pasquale Winery inside the Toast Bubble Bar. It was a Dubs comedy show hosted by Al Gabby, but it's produced by Melissa Wiseman. Um, for this show, you get to dress up. So guess what? I still have my Cyberpunk, Star Wars, Bruce Lee um, mashup outfit. So, of course, you know, I had to you know, bring the helmet. Um, then got my lightsaber. My two lightsabers turns into a lightsaber staff. Of course, I have my Bruce Lee shirt. So gold on the inside, blue on the outside, or gold on the outside, blue on the inside. Interchangeable. So I had a good time. I brought my friend Sarah with me. Brought my friend Jackie with me. I also brought the comic Mimi. All three had a great time. Great comedy that night. Al Gabby, pretty awesome with his comedy, and did a great job hosting and stuff. And a lot of great jokes coming from him. Al Gabby, I would say he was an 8.8 out of 10 for his comedy and hosting. So, and then I believe we have Jeff Grooms. Had a lot of great jokes. Crowd was kind of chill for this one. Jeff, I think he did talk about his surroundings, the decorations, stuff from the dollar store, Christmas decorations before Halloween. So he did. I think he talked about his name, Jeff with a G versus Jeff with a J. But with a chill crowd, he did interact with Jackie for one part. So that was pretty cool. I did show my helmet from the second or third row when Jeff had asked if anyone is dressing up for Halloween, and I brought my helmet out. So, but great set. Crowd was, they liked him. I would say it was about an 8.2 out of 10 for his comedy. We also had Camille Waters. She was also on the show. I think she was dressed as a cat. Great seeing her. She had some new material. That was awesome. Crowd liked her. She talked about, you know, pool parties, being invited to pool parties. Talked about how, you know, she's not worried that she'll be either kidnapped or thrown because, you know, you throw your back out. So I like how she kind of owned up to it. People laugh a lot at those bits, and then she had other stuff too. It's pretty awesome. So I'm glad I got to see her and get to catch up. Her comedy was an 8.5 out of 10. So um, and then we got Melissa Wiseman. Uh, she did run some new jokes. Um, she got to talk. She got to do some crowd work. Um, she had a big fan in the front row, old guy. Um, with the crowd work, I guess Melissa says that you know she's looking for a sugar daddy and um, you know marry a guy. Um, she talked about her puppy. Um, there were some, I guess you could say, um, some laughs from the dogs. Um, so yeah, crowd liked her. She got a lot of good compliments from what I can tell from the crowd when I kind of heard some stuff. um, yeah, I would say her comedy was 8.5 out of 10. Um, I enjoyed the new jokes. It's always refreshing to kind of hear some fresh material when you've seen people quite a bit. So, yeah, I don't know if that might be a motivation for comics when they know that I'm coming. So, um, and then we got Dustin Chafin. He brought his dog Lucy with him. So, you got Pearl, you got Lucy, and you also have the dog from Christie. So 3 dogs just hanging out, and they love to roam around the stage during the set. So great times for the puppies. Dustin did some crowd work. He was a Texas Rangers fan, so he must be pretty happy because the Texas Rangers won the World Series last night. So, and they won Game 1 the night of the show. So it's cool talking to him a little bit about baseball. Bruce Bochy, Rangers doing well. For his comedy, did some crowd work. Trying to do a little improv with the crowd. So he talked about, I guess he also talked about the winery, talked about the puppies. And then he has some great stuff to talk about. What was interesting was it was going to be maybe the last 5 minutes of his set, and he started talking about random topics. So it felt like he was kind of reaching for material, and I honestly did not feel like he had a great way to close this set. So reaching for topics kind of helps with the time, but that's what I kind of noticed. I did have some mixed feedback about Dustin about his set though. So I actually thought Dustin was a 8.3 out of 10 for his comedy. So, but overall, he's a great guy, and he has some good jokes. But my first time seeing him, so hopefully I'll see him down the road at future shows. But it's kind of cool talking to the comics after the show. And then took some pictures. And of course, I gotta show off my lightsaber, show off the helmet, my Bruce Lee outfit. But overall, a good time. And then I did get to see the Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou super fight. Not a title fight, actually, in this heavyweight division. And I got to watch at Dave and Buster's, got to hang with my buddy Dupree and his his girlfriend Candace. I had some I had some good food. I had some. Uh, I think it was like dumplings with a special sauce to it, and then that was about a 8.3 out of 10. Good stuff. Kind of spicy. And then it had the grilled salmon with veggies over rice. It was really good. I like the salmon. I would say it's an 8.5 out of 10. I think I had some asparagus in there too. Really good stuff. Um, Man, that fight was something else. I actually had Tyson Fury winning that fight going into it, but Francis Ngannou, the baddest man in the UFC MMA sports, he knocked down Tyson Fury, and honestly, that was a sight to see because now there's an image etched in my mind forever that the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, was knocked on his butt. He's on his back, and he's looking up at Francis Ngannou, who's dancing, ready for more action. Tyson Fury is basically looking up at the lights, and he did answer the 10 count, but that's a knockdown. And Tyson Fury, I did feel like he did take some advantages in the fight where he did start collecting the rounds. But there were a few rounds where Ngannou looked like he hit Tyson Fury to the point the body language can tell that he was going to slow down temporarily, and it felt like Tyson Fury might be moments away from a TKO beatdown for the loss, but Francis Ngannou cannot capitalize on some of those moments. But people remember the fact that Ngannou knocked down the heavyweight champion of the world. So and you can tell that what's his name, Alexander Usyk, the heavyweight champion with 3 of the titles on his side, while Tyson Fury has 1, and they have a fight, I believe, December. And oh my. Not only does Tyson Fury look worried and concerned, but Usyk looked like the heavyweight champion of the world that he's going to try to unify titles with in a fight. Either his expression shows that is his big money fight going to have any meaning if this non-boxer from the UFC MMA fighter comes into this fight, a boxing fight, and he knocks out the heavyweight champion of the world. And I can already tell you that had that actually happened, that the Usyk Fury fight may have lost significant interest, knowing that a heavyweight from MMA took out the heavyweight champion of boxing in a boxing match. So, but when it came down to reading the scorecards, as you would imagine, I was a little disappointed because Tyson Fury won by split decision. One judge had it 95-94 Ngannou. One judge had it 96-93 for Fury. And the very last judge had it 95-94 for Fury. I gotta say, it's highway robbery. Ngannou, not only was he not really phased that much, but he was never knocked down. Tyson Fury had to panic. He was knocked down. That's about a slim margin you can have to win a fight. And Tyson Fury was super lucky. Because for the two judges that scored at 95-94, they had the same scorecard all the way through except for the first round. So, honestly, had that been for Ngannou for that one first round, and the ones who scored 95-94 both scored it that way, you'll be looking at Francis Ngannou, a non-boxer, beating the heavyweight champion of the world in front of all these people, not only in Saudi Arabia, but the entire world that was watching. So, and they both had a walkout with them being on a throne with their crown on. Some interesting music. Israel Adesanya was there, and Kamaru Usman was there to help support Francis Ngannou. There was a Vince McMahon, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway was there, Ronaldo was there, Manny Pacquiao was there, Conor McGregor was there. I think I did see Oscar De La Hoya there. So there's quite a bit of a who's who there at the event, and they all got to be the first to witness Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion of the world, getting knocked down, and everybody sees him looking up at Francis Ngannou, standing over him. And that was like a left cross from Francis Ngannou, got the top of the head of Tyson Fury, and it was so powerful enough that it knocked him to the ground. So, images say 1,000 words, but this image in particular with Francis Ngannou standing over Tyson Fury, that is going to last forever. So yeah, and then I did get to watch the World Series. Now, granted, Rangers got lucky in game one. They were up 2-0 in the game one, but they were trailing 5-3. But Corey Seager hit a 2-run homer to tie the game, and then forced extras. And it turns out Garcia from the Rangers hit the walk-off homer in game one. But game two, Diamondbacks blew out the Rangers 9-1, even the series. Then went back to Arizona for 3 games, but unfortunately, Rangers won all 3 games, and they won the World Series 4-1 as of last night. So, the fact of the matter is, the Rangers won every single road game in the playoffs en route to the World Series crown. So, kudos to Bruce Bochy and the Texas Rangers for winning their first ever World Series. And I guess they have a lot to look forward to in 2024 and maybe beyond. So, I did get to watch the Chargers play Sunday Night Football. They beat the Chicago Bears 30-13. So, great performance by Justin Herbert. Great performance by Keenan Allen. Some great catches by Joshua Palmer. Great overall performance by Austin Eckler. So, and of course, Cameron Dicker the kicker. He gets so many field goals. So, honestly, great win. The Chargers are going to play Monday Night Football against the New York Jets. So, can't wait for that. And, well, talk to you guys pretty soon. This is Tiggy Maximus signing off. Boom! Tiggy Maximus, baby! All right, there, guys.